Chicago, and for as quiet as the grain trade is, Todd Horwitz joining us live on the floor. We are seeing, well, I'm going to call it volatility. I don't know what you think about, starting kind of a quiet day. All of a sudden, we're limit up in cattle, and for some contracts, limit up in feeders. Anything going on we need to know about?
I didn't hear anything, but I think basically, they were, as you said, they were drifting higher, and they were just, kind of floating around up 60, 70, 80, 90, and the next thing I know, boom, they're flying. Now, either there was some news that I haven't seen yet, or some big orders came in to buy. Bottom line is, though, they came. The more important thing here to take note of, Mark, is that they took off from the levels we've been waiting for and we were watching for. Live cattle took off from about 130, 131. That was the area we said which should hold in support. And again, they couldn't push it down. So now maybe the buyers are coming. Maybe we're getting a little bit of short coming here. Maybe there's a big order out in the street somewhere. I don't have the idea. All I know is that based on what I was looking at technically, it was a perfect spot to go ahead and be in. And now you're being rewarded for being in. And I think, you watch now, we can get back to 137. And then I think you have to see if we can get through that area, if we're going to go a lot higher. But again, I'm still bullish the space. I'd like to see another bit of a pullback because I think that 130 was a very good level, and we're seeing it play out in the feeders. That 150 level, just look what happened. We hovered around there again, just couldn't get them down. Now all of a sudden, boom, here we are up limit late in the day. Now, my guess is that it was probably a big order that came in late, trying to buy, probably some short covering. I don't think there's any other news that I didn't hear. But again, I didn't hear because I was on my way up to see you, but I saw it happening. So overall, I like the space. And again, we come back down to that level, I'm going to be a buyer again because I think the lows are probably in here for quite a while.
How much room do we have on the upside? You mentioned a 137 number in live cattle. What's, if you could pick a number, generally, the upside potential in feeder cattle?
Well, I think you want to look at 160. I think we can go higher. See, I believe we can go higher in both. But those would be the next levels that we could have to look at. So 137 in live would be those I got to watch because that should create a little bit of a wall and kind of bring it back down. 160 in feeders should create a wall and hold them. Now, again, we can go through there, and I think that eventually we will. And there's a certain way that I'd like to see them go through, and it would not be straight through. I'd like to see it work its way through. Kind of what hogs are doing right now. We just rolled over to April only now, and hogs, 71 was my number. We haven't been able to get through that 71. So for me to, although I like the space, the chart looks good, there's no reason for me to buy here because it can't get through 71. So what would make me believe that? Because I bought it would get through there.
And we look at live cattle or the lean hog complex. There's a chart for the feeder cattle for March, and again coming all the way down to where we are. But those hogs, you mentioned last week, Mark, there's going to be a big move coming. Don't know when, don't know which direction really, but something's going to happen in the lean hogs.
I still think that's the case. The longer we stay in this very tight band, which we're in right now, if you remember when you were a kid, you had those balsa wood airplanes, you tighten up that rubber band. That's what's going to happen here. We're going to pop one way or the other. I still believe it will be to the upside, but again, until we can break out, there's nothing really to do here. It's going to make a very, very big move, and I don't know which way. I think higher, but I'm going to sit here and observe it until I can find a way to pick a direction.
Very good, and we're going to be here to keep in touch with you. And tomorrow, in fact, you're back once again. Thanks for your time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading. It's bubbatrading.com. Check out their website information. Always wanting to help our producers out there, especially, understand the market and what's behind these moves and putting a marketing plan together. So we'll watch that with him, and he'll be back tomorrow.
That's right.